Okie dokie. Getting started. Yeah. Alrighty. So we're going to do the usual where I start the stream and then you sit there and wait as I post about the stream online. Pretty exciting stuff. All right, view channel, live, Colorway Wednesday, number 16. Crazy. Copy link. Now is not the time to be looking at Instagram stories. What am I doing? Sometimes it just be like that. Nope. Wrong thing. I really need to update my story templates that I use because they're cute, but I have a couple of things I'd like to adjust, like format wise and stuff like that. Tune in now! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Let's just do 2 exclamation marks. Otherwise it looks desperate. We don't want to look desperate. Goodness, I hope you guys didn't hear that. There was a crazy thud upstairs. What in the world? I do have upstairs neighbors, so that would do it. That is okay. Goodness. Last 2 minutes just flew by. It's okay. I posted about it on one account. Now I got to post on the other account. Then we can get started. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I love little fake soft launches. I love going in and editing this part out. It's just me sitting on my phone. It's like those TikTok streams that people used to do. Okay. We're all posted. So that being said, goodness, I look pale. Whoa. Right. Okay. You know what? It's fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 16 of Colorway Wednesday. I'm super excited that we're here this week. I have a new ring light, which is why I look so washed out. I cannot figure out how to work it. I mean, I've figured out how to work it. It's just a little finicky so far. So I'll figure it out, and by next week, we'll have it a little better. But I'm super excited that we're doing this for the 16th week in a row. Today, we have a cute little frog. We went with another spring coloring sheet because, quite frankly, I'm really tired and I wanted a simple coloring sheet this week. So this is the one I found. This is from cutecoloringpagesforkids.com. So not the same as some of our upcoming artist work that we've done in the past, but still a really good one. But yeah, this is going to be super fun. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started because you know what? Why not? So with that being said, I'm going to take I'm using my watercolors today, as I quite like to do. So I'm going to prime my canvas. I want it to be a little, there we go. So I just misted my canvas again. I've got my comically large mason jar, full of water. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I don't know about y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're having a good week. I know I've been having a weird one. It's finals week, at least for myself and probably for a lot of other people right now. So we're making it through. Oh man, I keep picking coloring sheets that need green, and then I don't really love any of my greens. Let's go with this one. This will be fun. But yeah, so it's my last finals week of my undergraduate career, which is really weird to think about. or at least it's hopefully my last finals week of my undergraduate career. We'll see. If all goes well, it is. But so yeah, that's exciting. So I've been doing a lot of finals. I haven't had any like normal exams. All of my finals, for the most part, have been different performances and stuff like that. I had my movement class final on Monday, and it went really well. We got it done. It was at 8 a.m. That was pretty awesome. It actually wasn't that bad, but it was a lot of fun. But we had our movement final, so it was literally, there was 4 different components of the final. The first component was literally just us warming up our voices and our bodies, making sure that we were ready to perform, because ultimately, as silly as it is, that is a skill that should be taught. Because, you want to make sure that people are taking care of their instruments properly. And sometimes you can't just intuitively do that the way that one might need. So that's a lot of what that class is like learning about that. But then in combination with that, it was a lot of learning movement techniques, a lot of like acting theory when it comes to movement, because obviously like not every person walks the same way. So it was kind of like ways to like build character walks and like differentiations between you and your characters and stuff like that, which was really fun. And then yesterday I had my realism final. Woot woot. That was interesting. We performed a scene by Chekhov, or Anton Chekhov specifically, which, if you don't know who Chekhov is, that's okay. You don't need to. Unless you're like really interested in theater, then I would recommend checking out Chekhov if you do not know who he is. But Chekhov is a very influential realism playwright. He's kind of like, not the father of it, but like his works are very much like the realism plays. If you've ever heard of Streetcar Named Desire, he has a hand in that masterpiece, because Tennessee Williams, the man who wrote Streetcar Named Desire, was very much inspired from his work. But with that being said, that's my current buzzword, so I'm so sorry. You're going to hear that a lot. But with that being said, we being my classmates and I, performed scenes that we had been working on for a while, from his different shows, as well as Chekhov has a lot of writers who were inspired by his works and put their own like modern spins on it, their own interpretations, stuff like that. So we, in tandem with our Chekhov piece, would perform essentially like an equivalent of that scene from a separate show, which was really fun. That scene is chaotic, but yeah, it went really well. It was a lot of fun. And then today I had an exam for a class that I got really sick the day that we were supposed to take this final a hot minute ago. So I didn't actually get to take it. So I finally took it. So shout out. But I took that exam, and then I took my ensemble final, which I've talked about that a couple of times on stream, like what ensemble is. But essentially it's just like learning how to collaborate with other artists and like emphasizing the concept of no idea is a bad idea. Let's say yes until it's proven to not work, and then let's redirect or figure something else out. Which, it was fun. It went really well. We had a lot of people show up to it, which was, it wasn't concerning, but it was alarming. I was not emotionally prepared for that. But yeah, So I only have 2 more finals remaining, which is crazy to think about. I still need to finish my thesis paper. It's okay. It's okay, guys. Don't worry. I'm not that free. I'm not that bored. But yeah, that's a little bit about the way this week has been going, which is genuinely really nice. It has been a tiring week, but a good one. Hopefully, for those watching, it's the same for you as well. But yeah. Let's see. I had so many things I wanted to talk about whenever I started the stream and was setting up the actual crux of it, not the crux of it, posting on my stories. I was like, oh, I'll talk about this and I'll talk about this and I'll talk about this. Didn't think of any of it, but I was going to talk about my ring light. Yeah, so new ring light. Fun fact, I don't think I've ever actually talked about this on an episode, but I broke my ring light that I use for this show a couple of weeks back. And when I say a couple, I mean 2 months ago. But yeah, I had to use it for an auditioning class assignment. So I brought it onto campus to film this self-tape, which is essentially you performing for a camera. It's a form of audition, if you don't know what a self-tape is. But, so I had to film that, which was all fine and dandy. It wasn't bad or anything. But for some reason, whenever I put my ring light in my car, I just set it in my passenger seat, foot area, and the actual joint that joins the light to the stand just snapped off. And I was like, right, okay, cool. So the past few weeks I'd been using the same ring light, but it just doesn't have the stand anymore. So it was down here, down here, rather than up here. I'm quite happy to have the higher up lighting again. But yeah. Let's see. But yeah. So I'm glad I got a new ring light. Hopefully this one lasts a little longer. The old one I did buy off Facebook Marketplace, so it was secondhand. I don't know how old it was, which was nice. I wasn't able to find a secondhand one again, but hopefully this one lasts me a good 5 years minimum. Because unfortunately, it is a very useful thing to have in the industry I am going into. And also, I quite literally use it every week for this stream. So, works out well, doesn't it? Alrighty. What color should I do the word spring in? I'm going to use this one color. One of the colors in this palette is called Brilliant Green Purple. And I don't know how much I believe it, because I don't know if you can see this. That is just purple. Hot take. But that's just purple. Don't get me wrong. I love me some color theory. I love funny color names, but that is not green purple. That's just green. That's all it is. It's just green. And that's okay. Let's see. That's a cute color. I think I'm going to alternate it. So rather than doing every single color or every single letter a different color, I'm going to do it every single, every other letter is a different color and only use 2 colors. So then it's not there's too much going on. I probably should have started with the background in hindsight. That's okay. I'm very much I want to do the small details before I do the big picture. But in things like this, it's sometimes advantageous to actually work on the big picture first. And that's okay. I was about to say, let's see again. Goodness gracious. I don't know where that came from. It's not like I say that all the time in my everyday life. It's just like, for some reason, I started streaming and it just became like embedded in my vernacular. All right. I hope all you guys are having a decent week. I've actually, despite the fact that finals have been really weird, I've been pretty decent at managing my time well. I'm typically pretty all right with managing my time. I'm acting like I'm never good at it. I'm typically good at it. But so luckily, I have been fortunate enough to actually like sit around and crochet the past couple of nights, which has been really fun. I've been working on something really cool for Ambassador at Nationals, which I'm very excited about because it's also just it's a passion project of mine, and it just is a bonus that it goes hand in hand with Ambassador. So, oh yeah, this is cute, guys. Y'all ain't even ready for this. I'm going to use permanent green. Not yellow green, but permanent green. No temporary green here. I love paint colors. I love marker colors. I love paint colors. Like, color names are some of the funniest things ever, in my opinion. Because more often than not, they like either make no sense or it's like, okay, well, that feels kind of lazy. It's like, they're just the perfect amount of, no one's ever going to be happy with color names, and it's awesome. Because, like, goodness, some of these are so silly. All right, so I just used permanent green. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how this is looking so far. I'm quite happy with it so far. I think with the purple, I'm going to do some, I could do Viridian. I don't do that a lot. So what I'm looking at over here is I have this cute little paper that came with my little watercolor kit that outlines exactly where what colors are, and you fill out the swatches yourself. So you see exactly what that paint looks like. So ultramarine could be cute. I think I'm going to go with a Viridian just because I'm trying to break out of my color habits a little bit just for fun, give myself a little challenge. Because I know I've talked about it before. I love pastels. But with that being said, I really want to start exploring other color palettes a little bit more. I feel like I can make a really good art when using pastels, but I want to see what I'm capable of whenever it's other colorways. So might as well just start sprinkling that into my work. And then also there's not that many pastels in this. I honestly should get like actual pastels, like, you know, the art supplies pastels, because I think that would be interesting to start learning and or working on. I did a PowerPoint night with my friends last night for one of their birthdays. If you don't know what a PowerPoint night is, I'm sorry for your loss. Essentially, a PowerPoint night is a bunch of people get together. They make silly PowerPoints about either a theme or whatever they want. Depends on who's hosting and what they want. But for my friends and I, we quite like doing PowerPoints pretty, not like frequently, but we talk about doing them quite a lot. So we did a nice little PowerPoint night, which was really fun. And one of the things, because everyone had very different PowerPoints, but one of the girls who was there, she had this super cute PowerPoint that was a lot of hypotheticals. But there was one specific hypothetical that wasn't even really a hypothetical, if I recall correctly. It was a very long night. We stayed up very late, so I don't fully remember. But one of the hypotheticals was, if you could learn, like, you have 1 week to master a hobby that you've never attempted before. Like, you have to have never even done a little bit of it before. So it was like, what hobby would you do? And so everyone in the room had to answer that question. I personally said pottery throwing, which is essentially how you make pottery. I think that would be really cool. I don't know why. That's just something I've always wanted to try because it just sounds fun. So actually, I lied. I do know why. It sounds fun. There we go. Oh, goodness gracious. I accidentally sprayed the paper, 1, too close, and 2, with too much water. So that veiny effect you see is the ink bleeding. That's on me. That's my fault. I'm gonna go grab paper towels. So I shall be right back. Paper towels. All right. It's getting worse and worse. Oh no, guys. Guys, this is terrible. It's okay. It's not actually that bad. These will just look a little more like intimidating thunderclouds than nice fluffy little rain clouds, and that's okay. Okay. Well, now the paper's too dry. Hopefully that works. I sprayed it very little from far away. All right. It's okay. It genuinely just adds some more depth to the clouds. And that's good. This is what Bob Ross would call a happy little accident. I never really got that into Bob Ross, but I remember at multiple sleepovers, we would turn on Bob Ross and just fall asleep. That was a thing for a while. It's just oh no, time for us to sleep now. How are we going to do that? Watching Bob Ross. That's how. We're teenage girls and we're going to watch Bob Ross until we fall asleep. And I hope that's an experience that kids these days still get. I love saying kids these days. It makes it sound like I'm a lot older than I am. I know there's a lot of differences since our world changes so rapidly. It's really funny to act like they're just so different from you and I. And it's nah, they're still kids. They're still sharing a lot of the experiences that we had, no matter what. I know I talked about in one of the recent episodes that the National Handbook came out, which was very exciting. So it's been very weird because I'm oh, I need to prep for nationals. And it's oh, wait, I graduate in 3 days. I should probably focus on that. Just a hunch. Which is really annoying because I kind of just want to sit down and lock in on nationals. But then it's well, I should probably finish school, and then I could do that. I mean, I've still been working on nationals, but, you know. It is what it is. All right. And C is why we call them happy little accidents, because look at how cool the rain clouds look with that bleed effect. Man, I should utilize that on purpose more often. I'm going to wait for this to dry a little bit. I don't actually anticipate, even though this one's really simple, I do not anticipate finishing it on stream tonight, because I know I genuinely want to do something with the background, which I'm going to have all of the rest of the paint on the page dry before I do something to the background, which is okay. That's a minor inconvenience. Or as Primager from Barbie would say, it's a temporary setback. I don't think I've ever actually seen that Barbie movie that he's from. I just know the memes. If you don't know what Barbie movie I'm referring to, it's Princess and the Pauper, I think. The villain is just an icon in that one. And for some reason he just became such a, not like a thing. I feel like that, I don't know. I feel weird saying that, but he became a very common character on my For You page recently. And by recently, I mean a year ago. That's recent, right? If I've lived for 22 whole years, I think that's pretty recent. What color should I make the umbrella? Maybe like a yellow. That'd be fun. Yeah. We're going to use metallic yellow. It's a glitter paint. I think that'll be cute on this. Oh yeah, that's fun. If you've never worked with watercolors, I highly recommend working with watercolors, especially glitter watercolors. They are so fun to watch. Someday, Colorway Wednesday is going to have a camera where you can actively see what I'm painting or what I'm working on, because that would be so sick. Because then I can talk a little bit more about techniques that I use and stuff like that. Once we get to that point, I'm definitely going to start using even more different varieties of tools and all that jazz. Yellow. Yeah. I honestly don't love yellow as a color that much. I was just telling my friend Mariana, friend of the show, see the Galentine's Day special if you want to see some more from Mariana. I was talking to my friend Mariana the other day about interview attire, and she was like, I'd love to see you in butter yellow. That's really in this year. And I was like, well, you'd love to see it, but I fear you shan't see it, because I am not getting anything butter yellow. I'm really pale, and I feel like it would look so weird. Even with the tan on, I'm like, no, I don't know about that one. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to be like I said, I'm trying to be a little more adventurous with my color palettes, just in general, especially now that I really know I really like pastels. I really like the way they look on me. I'm trying to still be okay, well, I still want to differentiate, because it's not good if I'm and I know I'm overthinking this, but it's not good to be oh, I only feel confident in this one type of color. I only feel confident wearing pastels. That's not good. So let's do something good for us and not do that. But yeah. Goodness, it's already 7:30. Time flies, man. Time flies. I don't know about y'all, but I'm quite excited to go to bed tonight. I am very tired, and that's okay. Because ultimately, I shall get to sleep a lot soon. I haven't decided if I'm going to sleep in tomorrow or Friday, because I have to film one of my finals. And I haven't decided if I'm going to film it tomorrow or Friday. Depending on which day I want to sleep in, I'm going to film it. I feel like I should probably film it tomorrow. The sooner the better, you know? Get it out of the way, get it done. Because then also, like, well, that means I'm done with a final, you know? Like, a win is a win, and if that means less stress on my plate, so be it. Because I still need to finish a honors contract project on top of a, whatchamacallit? Honors contract project, and my thesis paper, which I'm not terribly worried. It's just more of I have to find the time to sit down and do all that. But also, obviously, I'm feeling leisurely enough. I'm allowing myself to rest because ultimately, I'm not going to do good work if I don't get good rest. And let that be a lesson to you kids. Make sure you take care of yourselves. It's a very novel lesson. No one else would think about it. I'm saying the things that no one else is going to say. I'm really brave for this. All right. I think our umbrella is done. It looks a little streaky. I kind of like that. It's not that it like looks streaky. It's just that like the yellow doesn't look fully even. Oh, that's cute. I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint the border. Honestly, I may not paint the background. Because I feel like one, if I was gonna paint the background, I should have done it already. But two, I kind of like it like this. I don't know. Let's see, what color should I do the border? I feel like I should do, I kind of want to do a glitter color, but also I could do the blue from the raindrops again. That'd be cute. I think I'm going to do that. That's dark turquoise, in case you were wondering. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. I always pictured turquoise to be a little more green than this. That's okay. Turquoise is one of those things that I always like. I can never remember if it's like actually named after like a gem or something like that, because it sounds like one. But I genuinely like. I got finals week brain. I cannot remember whether or not it is, and that's okay. Oh goodness, I'm kicking the table again. Hopefully, whenever I move here in a couple of weeks, wherever I set up Colorway will have less table for me to kick. Because goodness, I feel bad. I really should like listen back to one of the parts of one of these streams where I do kick the table and just like see if it makes as much sound as I feel in my soul. Because it's like not even that loud here for me, but I feel like it's loud. If that makes any sense. All right, just fully put my finger in some paint. And that's okay. That's the fun thing about paint. I tend to be a person who has like a difficult time getting my hands like dirty. Like I like cleaning them regularly. Whenever I bake, I am constantly washing my hands. It's pretty bad. I mean, obviously, like it's a good habit to have. It's good to have clean hands while cooking or baking or something like that. It's just more the concept of the fact of I like am constantly washing my hands, and so then they're like really dried out. Come the time I'm like finally done with the really simple recipe I just worked on, like it really wasn't that deep, but for some reason my hands are now like 7 washes in, and I'm like, yep, okay, time to put them in the oven. Classic. Sorry, I just got like so locked in. I can hear the humming of my refrigerator. And I was like, yeah, this is a nice like ambience. No, it's not. It's a refrigerator humming. Hey, you know what? Found sound. We love to see it. Or really, we love to hear it. Mixing that in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, this is cute. I haven't done a coloring page on here that has like a border around it. I think I did. There was that one that had a cute, like, oh, color outside the lines, which I proceeded to color inside the lines for. I think that had a box. This must be really fun for y'all to watch. I'm just like getting sleepier and sleepier as the stream goes on. Literally haven't even been live that long, and I'm just like, oh goodness, I'm so tired. Like I said, the hangout with my friends last night was a little late. We were supposed to start at 7, but then a lot of people ended up having to be late for one reason or another, which is okay, because life happens. But it was a very chaotic time. We got done with PowerPoints right before midnight, and I had told everyone so proudly too. I was like, I'm going to go home by 9 at the latest. And then 12 a.m. rolls around and I'm still there because I was like, I don't want to leave. I don't know about y'all. I get really bad fear of missing out. And it definitely kicked in last night. And that's okay because I had fun. And ultimately, it's one of those things where it's like, how many more opportunities am I really going to get to hang out with that group of people, considering the fact I'm about to graduate, you know? And some of the people in that group are also about to graduate. And so it's like the likelihoods of us all getting to be together again is pretty slim, which is okay. Just a little sad. But the likelihoods of us all seeing each other again someday separately, I think are pretty high. So I'm not too sad about it for now. I'll probably be sad about it when graduation rolls around. And that's okay. All right, there we go. Paint, 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 paint. Wait, one more border, and then I think we'll be done. I don't know. I kind of want to add like bursts of watercolor in the background. Tempting. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling in 2 seconds. Not really 2 seconds, but you know. But yeah, that's part of the fun stuff. Is I am gearing up to graduate quite literally this Saturday, which is crazy. I don't know. I don't remember high school graduation feeling like this monumental, but also that's probably because like those feelings haven't really stayed the same, because now I'm like, okay, well, college was way harder. So it's probably also just like I kind of forgot what it did feel like whenever I had graduated high school. If you're watching this and you are graduating high school soon, you're doing great. Like there's nothing wrong. If you're like, no, this has been just so hard, what? Not everyone's high school experience is the same. I know I was sad when I graduated high school because I was like, oh no, I'm not seeing like my favorite teachers again. I don't know if I'm ever going to see really any of my classmates again. Or at least I'm not going to see them consistently. That's for sure. I still keep somewhat in touch with people from high school, but like, honestly, I don't try as much as I should. Like, one of the girls from my high school actually goes to my college, or a couple of people from my high school, but one of the girls who was like in my graduating class goes to my college, and I should have asked to hang out with her a little more often than I did, but you know, again, you win some, you lose some. And ultimately, I don't think I'm really losing, because the fact that I still care enough is important. All right. Okay, grand reveal. And then we'll see if I decide I want to keep working on it. Ta-da! I keep going back and forth because I think it looks really nice as is, but also the idea of like little bursts of like pink behind him would be cute. I kind of want to do it blue, but I feel like I already have a lot of like bluish greenish hues on here. I could do I could do that. I changed my mind. We're doing the background a little bit. Typically, I have a little fan whenever I'm like working on full-on watercolor pieces, which I haven't done in a while. I have like a little fan that I'll set them in front of, so I'm not like jostling the paper around. But I don't know. I just don't really feel like pausing the stream to go grab a fan. Okay. Not seeing any bleeding. That's good. Because I need the paper to be rather damp for what I'm about to do. All right. That's kind of fun. I'll show you what I'm cooking here in a minute. Sorry, I am so locked in right now. Okay. roughly. Some there. Put a little bit of paint there. All right. I'm just mixing in my paint a little more on the actual like paper itself. And then I'm going to show you guys what this phase of it looks like. And then explain a little bit about what I'm going to do next. Because you know what? It's been a while since I've tried like full on like watercolor painting technique. Because there's a lot of watercolor painting that I think personally genuinely is just based on vibes. It's just whatever your heart tells you to do. But this is one that it's like, well, okay, let's play around a little. Let's experiment. Let's have fun. That's the whole point of this show. I'm trying to remind myself, like, especially with finals week, because I tend to be I like having good grades. I like keeping things together, making things nice and organized, all that jazz. So I'm trying to like emphasize for myself at least to like just kind of allow myself to have fun more. Allow myself to have fun, live life a little, you know. And maybe just maybe color a little outside the lines, hypothetically speaking. Oh yeah, this is fun. I'm a big fan of blotches. I know that sounds goofy, but like color blotches and watercolors I think are so fun. Because there's not really any other, like there are other mediums, but it's like the main medium where you can make just like splatters, I guess, that look good without like utilizing force. So yeah, that's fun. So I've got it's metallic blue, so it's glittery. I've got some of that there. Now I'm going to spray a little bit more. Not too much. There we go. And now I'm going to add splashes, like very, very slight splashes of gray to kind of add to the like, oh, it's a rainy day effect. All right. So I've got little bits and pieces of gray on my page, and I'm kind of like blending it out in various areas, making it like more of a gradient. Bad joke, I'm sorry. But unironically, I am making it a little bit more subtle because I don't want it to just be like, aggressive amounts of gray here. I want it to be like ever so slight little details. Blending, blending, blending. All right. So with my first round of slight mixed in gray, it looks like this. It doesn't look too like aggressive or different on camera, but trust, it's there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of my metallic gray to kind of match the whole like metallic blue that's super sparkly and the metallic yellow umbrella. A little more. All right. So I'm going to blend again. Make it a little more subtle. Because obviously with watercolors, you can have harsh lines wherever you want. I personally love a good, like, nice muted difference, I suppose, is a good way to put it. A very different tone. Let's see. Blend that, blend that, blend that. All right. Then I feel like there's a little bit of blue missing. So I'm going to go in and add just a splash more blue. And then I'm going to put a little bit of gray. Gonna put a little bit more gray because that did not do much of anything. There we go. That might be too much gray now. I have a friend named Gray. She's cool. All right. A little more of that. And then ever so slight touch of this. Yeah. Okay. I'm almost done, I promise. Having a lot of fun with this one this week. Okay. Do we think I'm actually done this time? Yeah. Kind of wish I colored the letters differently, but that's okay. Here is our final product. There's a little bit of a harsh thing over there. Goodness, what happened? Something must have splashed. Yeah. Let me take care of that real quick. There we go. That's better. But there we go. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. If you also colored along with me, I would love to see what you did. I'm surprised this took me a full hour, but you know what? It was fun. It was needed. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me this week. I'm super glad we were able to do this, even though it's been a hectic week. But I feel like since I'm having a rough finals week, other people probably are too. And people need this little break. So I hope you had an amazing time. Thank you for joining for episode 16. I hope to see you next week. We'll see whatever we get up to then. But with that being said, thank you so much, and I'll see you then. Bye!